I have had recently some decisions to make, not necessarily earth-shaking decisions on a physical level, but
wait,
but decisions to make.
And we are really interrupting you. But listen to this. This is important. The decisions have already been made. The decisions have already been made, and they've been really good decisions that have been really well made. And when you let go of the feeling of indecision, what has been decided will occur to you in an emphatic way. Do you get that? In other words, what indecision is checking out that and that and that and that and that. And don't you know that through all that you've lived, the decision has been made. The source within you knows the perfect path. All you got to do is stop struggling over the indecision, and in you'll go, and you'll say, and it will be so clear to you.
Well, what has happened so far is when I get into the vortex, or when I believe that I am in the vortex, it feels so good that I don't even care about the decision anymore.
That's because everything that you wanted was for the reason of feeling better. And when you're in the vortex, you do feel better, so the decision is now irrelevant.
Yes, good, thank you.
And then you get the fun of watching the manifestation.
Yeah, and that's another thing. I had so many things that I was watching for manifestation of that I don't even think of them, and I don't really, I'm certain that they will appear in their proper time, but it's not a function.
Well,
I want that feeling back.
What you have just said, this is what we wish for all of you. Because when you are feeling your way into the vortex, in other words, so often people have these ulterior motives of, I'll get into the vortex and then I'll get all the stuff I want. But the absence of the stuff that they want keeps them from getting into the vortex. Where if you get into the vortex for the feeling, which is easy to do, then you get the reason that you want all that stuff, and then the stuff has to come too. And then before you know it, you're using your vortex to get rid of stuff.
It feels so good to be there that you just don't care.
And then before you know it, you're using your vortex to get rid of stuff. Because it turned out...
I'm in favor of that. I've already used it to get rid of some bad things, but...
Well, we're talking about all the stuff. Not all the stuff, but there's so much gathering of stuff to try to fill a void, that when you figure out that the void doesn't exist in the vortex, so you don't need all that stuff to try to fill it, then the stuff is just sort of burdensome, cumbersome, irrelevant. And we're not trying to talk you out of your manifestations. We want you to have each and every one of them. We're just saying that that's the way you cycle. You want the stuff because you feel a void. Then when you get into the vortex where you don't feel any void, then the stuff is not necessary. And the stuff that you have then is easy for you to sort of cycle it through your experience.
Yeah, I agree. Thank you very much.